Hello friends, welcome to my channel, a channel for learning simple coding. If you find this video to be helpful, please like, share and subscribe my channel. In the last video, we have learned why Rust is so popular and why we should learn Rust programming language. In this video, we are going to learn how to install Rust on Windows or other operating system. For installing the Rust on Windows or other operating system, we should learn the following things. First thing is, what is Rustup? We have to learn what is Rustup and the role of Visual Studio tools for Rust compiler, that we have to understand, and how to install Visual Studio tool for Rustup, that we have to understand, and we will learn the complete installation of Rust. Remember that it's not easy to install Rust on Windows on other operating system because it's required C++ library, because that Rust is based on C or C++ library, so it required those library before working on any particular operating system. So for that we understand what is Rustup and the role of Visual Studio tool for a compiler. We go to the internet. Here I write Rustup and we go to the first page for Rust programming language, rustline.org. Remember that we have this official website, and here we have the installer, Windows installer, because I'm using Windows operating system. That's why it's showing me the information about Windows. You see that if you have a 32-bit of Windows, then you can install Rustup installer of 32-bit. If you have a 64-bit, then you can install Rustup installer of 64-bit. So I am using 64-bit of Windows, that's why I download this. I click on this and it will be downloaded. Remember that the Rustup is a installer for Rust programming language. So the first question is, what is Rustup? So Rustup is the installer to install your Rust language on Windows or other operating system. Similarly, if you are using Linux, you can follow this. If you are using other operating system, then you can use more documentation about the installing of this. Just open on your particular window, means if you will open this in MacOS, then it will show you the instructions on Mac. If you open it on Linux, then it will show you the instructions for Linux also. Remember that before installing this, you should start to install Visual Studio C++ build tool also. Remember that this build tool, you have to click on this and you can go and there you can download. From here you can download this build tool for Rustup. Remember that it's the fundamental requirement of this, otherwise you would not be able to use Rust. So remember that first Rustup is installer for Rust language. Role of Visual Studio means, because Rust language is built by using C or C++ library, so it's a must to install C++ library from Visual Studio tool in your computer, then you can install. And how to install this? So you can follow this, just download this. After download, you will have Visual Studio tool like this, and you have a Rustup also like this. So we have a two way to install this. First one, you can directly double click on this and you can install this. First of all, you install the Visual Studio code. So like this, it will show you the installer, and then you can select to install. I'm closing it. Second way, just to start your Rustup here, and Rustup is saying that Rust required Visual C++ library and you have to install this. Just give here one. Remember that quick installation Visual Studio community installer. So click on one and it will show you to download this. Remember, it is starting the downloader. So we have a two ways to install it. First, by using Rustup itself, and second, you can download and install Visual Studio from this installer. So it's showing some error also here, so we can close it and directly we can install from there. So we have a two way, I have explained you the installation of this. So I am starting from this build up tool, so it will start to install. You see, remember that you have to tick on this library desktop development with C and C++. It's must to click on this and automatically it will select all this, and you click on install and it will start to install. It will take little bit of time. Same you can install by this Rustup also. If you start Rustup, then it show option and click on one and automatically it show like this type of environment to install the C++ library. So either one method you can use. This it's very simple. Just first you install Visual Studio Tools C++ library, then you install Rustup compiler by using Rustup installer. So once again I am explaining you that we have a two way to install this build up tool, Visual Studio build tool. First, by directly from this installer, download this from the website already. This website is giving the location. You see, click on this and just go to there and click here and download this. It's very simple, and install it first. Otherwise, just click on this Rustup initializer, that is the installer of Rust language. Just click on this and select the first option and it will also install. But this time in my computer it giving error because I have so many time I have installed and uninstalled this for testing purpose. That's why it's giving error, but in your computer it will run smoothly. So you install first of all C++ library like I am installing it. Otherwise it would not run, compiler would not work. Compiler of Rust is built on C and C++ library. That's why we have to install it first. You see that now Visual Studio build tool has been installed. So once this tool installed, then you have to run again once Rustup installer, and this time it not showing you that you have not installed C++ library. This time it's showing you option to install the Rust. So check one and just start installation and press any key and it will install. Remember that it's take little bit of time because Visual Studio tool take lot of time to be installed. After installation, just you open your command prompt and here you type rust C and the version of Rust, and you see that 1.73 version installed. That means Rust compiler is running. So it is tested this time. So in this video we have learned what is Rustup, what is the role of Visual Studio tool for Rustup compiler. Because of this Rust language built on C and C++ library, so it required this library. That's why we have to use it. How to install Visual Studio tool? So we have a two option, by using Rustup and separately by using Visual Studio tool installer. So either method you can use, whatever you prefer, but it must install it. Then I have explained you the complete installation. We have tested the library also. So that's all in this video. Next video we will see how to run our first program by using Rust compiler, and we will use Visual Code for this. So that's all in this video. If you like it, please do subscribe. Thank you for watching this video.